Hey folks, Hotdaki here. Have you ever wanted to experience post-apocalyptic Eastern Europe, but with worse health insurance and way more radiation? Do you like popping rad meds, like Tic Tacs, just to loot a fridge full of mystery meat guarded by two boars with Chernobyl gym memberships? Ever wanted to explore a radioactive wasteland where the map hates you, the weather hates you, and the gravity is on strike? Well then, do I have a game for you? Today's victim, Zero Sievert. Zero Sievert is a top-down extraction shooter where you venture into irradiated zones to loot, shoot, and hopefully not mutate. It's like Stalker met Escape of Tarkov, then got converted to a pixel art because someone spent all the GPU budget on green filter overlays and crunchy sound effects. You play as a lone wanderer who gets sent into a cursed map full of wildlife with rabies, bandits with aimbot, and anomalies that look like JPEG compression artifacts from hell. There's lore somewhere, but mostly go outside, collect garbage, get paid in bullets, repeat until enlightenment or death. So I played Zero 07 for a week, and I can confidently say I'm addicted to looting cans of food I never eat in real life and swapping out gun barrels like I work at a apocalyptic IKEA. Combat surprisingly fun. You peek a corner, line up your shot, and the game says nice try, and lets a mutant squirrel snipe you from off screen. The maps are procedurally generated hell zones. One minute you're chilling by a pond, the next you're getting third-degree burns from a puddle that glows like a gamer chair. Exploration is great if you consider accidentally walking into 3 bandit camps, a sniper's nest, and a glowing fungus that screams to be great. Also, anomalies. Half the time, you can't even see them. I just hear a VHS glitch noise, my bones try to exit the body. At this point, I don't even check the Geiger counter, I just assume I'm already dying. Lore. There is lore. Society collapsed, science went feral, and now I live in a bunker with a man named Green Army Officer who pays me in rubles to go abuse wolves with a Mosin. None of them explain why the vending machine costs 300 rubles for a bottle of soda that reduces thirst by 2%. At some point I started questioning if I was a protagonist or just walking loot piñata for God's amusement. There is no traditional bosses, but sometimes it feels like the map itself is trying to kill me. Like when I finally made it to the mall map, geared up, ready to loot, and then I got jumped by a radioactive rat, a sniper, and a electrical anomaly at the same time. I didn't even die with dignity. I died clutching 3 rusty spoons and a can of expired spaghetti. Bandits are just built different. They shoot like they trained under John Wick and loot your body before it hits the floor. And the mutants? One of them screeched so loud, my soul lagged. I named them all, by the way. Barbecue, the boar that killed me 6 times in the forest while I was trying to loot its brother. Rat Mageddon, fast, ugly, and probably in punk band. Mr. Puddle, the anomaly that looks like a PNG file and still ruins my life. It sometimes feels like all the enemies are just stalking me in a map and waiting for me to open a single box just to snipe me at the back of my head. Leveling up, the grind to become slightly less bad at dying. So there is a leveling system. Sounds normal, right? Wrong. This ain't your grandmother's XP bar. In Zero 07, you gain experience from murdering bandits, surviving anomalies, and doing enough squats running across the map to qualify for Olympic cardio team. But here's the kicker. Your reward for leveling up, a couple of skill points, and a privilege to spend 40 minutes trying to decide whether you should upgrade field medicine or recall control, even though you're still going to die to a boar anyway. There is like 700 perks and they all sound either useless, 3% scrap collection efficiency when squatting in mud, or total game breaking changes. You now regenerate your health if the moon is full and you have beans. Zero 07 leveling system is less about getting stronger and more about giving you just enough hope to get emotionally attached before you get doomed by a scav with a sawed-off pipe shotgun. Base building, or how I learned to hate pillows. Let's talk about base building, or as I call the great coop simulator. In 07 you can upgrade your bunker, you know, add luxuries like water filtration, a med bay, or maybe a working coffee pot. The problem? Every module needs 67 screws, 14 wires, 3 rubber ducks, and something called a military component which only spawns once a decade and is guarded by 14 bears and a JPEG microwave ghost. I thought I was finally ready to install the rest station, which gives me a buff for sleeping, but I forgot on one critical item. Pillows. Apparently you need a special pillow, a rare pillow, not just a bundle of cotton, no. This is endgame sleep tech. And I had it, I did, until I accidentally shot at a green army soldier in the foot while trying to loot a toothbrush, got lit up by his entire squad and died with every pillow I owned. I now sleep in my bunker like a depressed Tetris block, no buffs, no dreams, just sadness. Loot Gremlin Energy, the circle of pain. You start with a noble goals. You think, I'll just grab essentials, ammo, meds, foods. Cut to 10 minutes later and you're hauling around 7 forks, 4 frying pans and 3 cauldrons. And the lamp you swear you'll use for crafting, but you never do. There is a whole economy built on hoarding utensils like you're preparing for a radioactive brunch of the century. I have PTSD from checking the recipe for a crafting station and seeing 5 kitchen knives. Why? What is this for? Am I building a post-apocalyptic hibachi grill? Now it's time for the map rundowns, the scenic radiation tours. The forest. Your starter map looks peaceful until you realize the trees are just tall covers for snipers and wolves. Get used to walking into bushes and dying in surround sound. The swamp. Everything is wet, sad, and smells like expired soup. Expect to get stuck in ankle-deep muck while the frogs scream at you and bandits emerge from fog to fold you in the head with a spaz shotgun. The mall. The scariest mall experience since Black Friday 2007. Abandoned shops, mutants in food courts, and echoes of capitalism past. I once fought a rabbit creature inside Claire's. 10 out of 10 atmosphere, 0 out of 10 dental coverage. Makeshift camp, industrial zone. Pure urban hell. Buildings full of enemies, tight corners, every hallway is a potential trap and also somehow your tomb. Also, there is lore buried in these maps, notes, hints, story of what happened before the world went sideways, but I was too busy getting my liver reorganized by a bandit with a hammer to read them. Now it's time for the Hotdaki review section. This game triggers fight or flight, so aggressively I'm sweating in my real life chair. Yeah, the soundtrack is chill until a mutant sprints out of a bush and sends you to God. Verdict: emotional lag. Only sleep you're getting is from blood loss. Hidden gem potential. 07 is what happens when someone mods Stalker into a pixel art anxiety simulator. It's deeper than my unresolved trauma and somehow prettier too. Every map is chaos, every death is personal, and the dopamine hits just right. This is a certified hood classic, just not the kind you rest to. Daki's Final Judgment, banger with minor crimes. It's like getting mugged by a raccoon in a hazmat suit, but somehow you respect it. Would I play this again? Already did, forgot I died, did it again. I'm trapped in a loot cycle like a rat in a radioactive wheel. Welcome to Hotdaki's Steam game reviews, where I try to play every game in my library before the heat death of the universe. Why? Because I collect games like NFTs, except my actually launch, and then crash mid-loot run. The next victim coming soon. Stay chaotic, stay irradiated, and please stop bringing spoons to a gunfight.